Hello, everyone, and thanks for tuning in to Week 2 and Episode 2 of Talkin with Tony. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't really have a lot of bullshit to go and ramble about right now, so I'm just going to go right into our sports news. Our football team had a rough outing yesterday, falling 48-14 to Westchester. It was a rough day for Gannon all around, with 5 turnovers and a defense that couldn't seem to stop anything. I got to hand it to the guys, though, because, Westchester is the 19th ranked team in the country. And, I'm hoping they bounce back next week against Kutztown. Women's soccer played 2 games. On Wednesday, they faced UPJ, scoring 5 goals, all from different people. It was a convincing win for the ladies. And unfortunately, they ended up losing 4-2 to Seton Hill a couple days later. Our Gannon volleyball team played 2 games yesterday, sweeping MSU Moorhead 3-0, and then unfortunately losing the second game 3-0 to Northern Michigan. All right, now moving into our next segment, I've got fellow Bills fan Cam Swantek with me. Cam, how you doing?
All right, man. How are you? Thanks for having me.
I'm doing great. You know what we're here to do? Talk about Bills Week 1. Pulled out the dub, but
that was brutal.
Yeah, that was really hard to watch. I mean, I was on the way home from Penn State, actually, just in the car, with it on my phone, and that first half. Oh my god.
Yeah, I was because I'm an RA in Worley, so I had a program yesterday where it was pizza and football, and we put the Bills game on, and I made myself look like an ass because I was just screaming at the TV like, "What's going on?"
Oh, dude, it
was brutal.
I mean, turnovers. There's that fumble on the first drive, then that pick 6 off of Beasley's leg.
Yeah. Beasley
did not have a great game.
Beasley did not, and you know what? Talking about the turnovers, there was 4 Allen had.
Yeah.
Allen had 4. I would say realistically 1 was his fault. Maybe you can argue 2.
I say you can argue 2 because the first pick, that was Beasley's fault. The second pick, that was Allen's fault, and I think you got to put the fumble on him.
I think I put the fumble on him and the second interception. You can't really do much about good defense.
Yeah,
that's just him swatting it up, and then that's fair game, you know?
Right, exactly.
Well, I guess you could argue that it was a low pass. So yeah. I could see that. That's why I'm kind of half and half. But either way, it's weird because people are going to look at that number, 4 turnovers, and they're going to be like, man, Allen sucked.
Yeah, exactly.
But out of the 4 starting quarterbacks from that last draft class that started yesterday, Allen was the second best.
Yeah. Obviously, Lamar Jackson was number 1 there.
And, Darnold was not good.
No.
Darnold sucked, and Baker had a complete meltdown.
Darnold had, he followed the Adam Gase game plan.
Mm-hmm.
Darnold looked like Tannehill yesterday.
Yeah.
That is the best comparison I can make.
I didn't even think of that.
That's because Gase was at Miami last year with Tannehill, and it literally looked like he tried to play Miami's offense with a better team, which is kind of stupid to do, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know what? It's not all Darnold. I mean, our defense is by easily top 5 in the league.
Oh yeah, dude, the defense kept us in the game.
Yeah.
It was just the fact that we had 4 turnovers and the game was still 6-0.
That was unbelievable.
6-0.
Can we talk about that Jets kicker though? Because you have any other kicker in the league, we lose that game.
Oh yeah, in my opinion, I think he's the Bills game MVP.
Yeah,
missing that extra point and that field goal.
Him and the refs. The refs were calling some good penalties.
Yeah, which is kind of surprising.
Yeah,
given our track record, we never get those.
No, that's one thing we should talk about is how we stayed disciplined that whole game.
Yeah,
we didn't have many penalties at all.
No, the Bills team was very disciplined,
and I've been noticing that through the year with McDermott.
Oh, yeah.
Ever since McDermott took over, penalties have definitely knocked down. Like, when we had Rex Ryan, it was like every other play. Mm-hmm. It was ridiculous. But definitely nowadays, you could see they're more disciplined out there because McDermott doesn't take that stuff.
Right, exactly. And McDermott and Bean have been preaching, this culture from day one.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like 3 years in, now we're finally starting to see, the true effects of it.
Mm-hmm. Now, when it comes to how that game went, obviously it did not go to plan.
No, not at all.
I mean, the first 3 quarters were brutal. I mean, we had a safety in the third.
Yeah,
the first 3 quarters were brutal. But the positives you got to look at is our offense, while it wasn't great, it was still putting together drives.
Yeah, it was kind of shitty just because we would put together a drive and then we'd be in enemy range, fumble, in enemy range, pick.
Yeah.
it just like we just looked like something was off.
Yeah.
I mean, the fourth quarter was just something else.
It was great. John Brown was awesome.
Oh yeah.
And Singletary. We didn't use him until the fourth.
We didn't run. We ran the ball once in the entire first half.
Mm-hmm. Like the actual handoff.
Like an actual handoff.
Yeah. Other times Allen, which I was glad to see him not run as much.
Oh yeah, no, he looked like he was settling into the pocket a lot better.
He looks a lot comfortable.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's just a better offensive line or more experience, maybe a bit of both. But he definitely looked more comfortable, which is good going forward.
Yeah, no, I agree. No, but because even with that terrible first half, you could tell he looked comfortable. You could tell he's going through his progressions.
Right.
Like he's definitely improving, and people are going to keep sleeping on him, but. That's what Buffalo does best. When people sleep on us, that's when we play good. But when we get expectations, oh boy.
Oh fuck yeah. There we go.
That's a different story.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is I think what happened with Cleveland, but we won't talk about
that. We don't need to go too deep into that. We'll be talking about that later on. Yeah, just looking at the team though, one of the things that impressed me the most was just maintaining composure throughout the whole game. Like even when we were down 16-0, I thought that was game. I thought we were losing for sure. I'm like, we're about to get shut out by the Jets. And then out of nowhere, everything starts clicking. Defense is locking up. Allen starts throwing some dimes, and we finally start putting points on the board. Mm-hmm. And sure enough, after that Allen scramble, we're only down a touchdown. Well, we're only down 6 points because of that missed extra point. And then I was like, oh my God, we have a chance.
And I think that's also McDermott's doing, because when we made the playoffs 2 years ago, if you compare that roster with the roster we have now, the roster we have now is better on paper, in my opinion at least. And that team made the playoffs. And that's because one thing that McDermott has just put into this team is heart and soul.
That is true. That is true, yeah.
That's why you got guys like Vontae Davis and LaShawn getting cut. And I'm not saying LaShawn didn't have heart, but that's why McDermott gets rid of guys that maybe make us scratch our head. And, that's one thing that McDermott has done really well to just put into this team. And I think that's why they, mustered up the heart to come back in that game. And we looked out. Like, I was already, I was getting ready to tweet some crazy, how the hell did we go 0-1 to the Jets? But nah. They completely proved me wrong.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, Allen's put together a few game-winning drives now, and he's only in his second year. He actually led the league in most game-winning drives last year, despite only starting 11 games,
Should have had one more in Miami. But
he had, 4, I think, last year, and then Mahomes and Brady both had 3. But this year, I mean, he's already got 1 in the books.
Already got 1, yeah. He's about to be the most again.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully we're just, winning by a lot.
That's true.
We don't need the game-winning drive, but
it's nice to see Josh Allen be clutch every now and
then. Yeah, it is nice to have a clutch quarterback. Obviously, Giants next week. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't want to get over cocky because last week I was all talking shit on the Jets and I was over cocky, and I don't know. I'm very superstitious. Maybe that played into it.
Well, you know what? Same place, same time.
That is
week.
True.
You know what?
That is true.
And the Giants are home. And obviously, I mean, I don't know if you watched the Cowboys and Giants game. I kind of had Red Zone on, so I was just watching all of it. They didn't look great. No. At one point, Daniel Jones came in the game because they were losing that bad.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that, actually.
And Jones, I think, fumbled the ball. So, I mean, Saquon obviously is a problem. He was great. Saquon was great.
Saquon is the biggest threat on the Giants, clearly. If we can shut down Saquon, I don't think we'll have a problem with the Giants.
I think we put Trey White on Sterling Shepard, too, because Shepard also was making some nice catches. But
Shepard is the only name that's still on the Giants in the receiver core that's relevant. Mm-hmm. They don't have many weapons. But,
yeah. And again, can't be too cocky because for the first quarter, the Giants did look good, but they crumbled. So they pulled a reverse Buffalo.
Yeah.
We had 3 awful quarters, then played the best in our fourth. They had 1 awesome quarter and then 3 terrible ones.
Yeah.
So, listen, if I'm giving my complete unbiased opinion, Buffalo should win this week.
Oh, for sure, we should. On paper, we're 3 points favorites, so I think we should win. But it's just a matter of that all coming together.
3 points. That seems low.
I would think it seems low, but
at the same time, I mean, again,
after last week,
we're sleeping on us. You know what I'm saying? But I thought honestly Allen would have a field day with the Jets secondary.
Oh,
but,
me too.
C.J. Mosley, can we just say he played really good.
C.J. Mosley's injury was the turning point in the game.
I was just about to say that when he got injured, that changed the game.
It did, and it sucks because you don't like to root for ill-will or injuries on the other team. But that being said, the injury did happen, and it did benefit Allen and company.
100%.
You can see on the field.
Yeah, and with everything we said about how our offense was clicking and how a lot of the turnovers we had were just kind of flukes, like it's a 4th and 1 and it's a bad snap, like that barely happens.
Right,
like,
exactly.
As a whole, you know what? First game jitters. And
Yeah.
I think next week we'll really come out and show the NFL what we're about. And we better because what? Week 3 do we play the Pats?
Week 4 we play the Pats.
Week 4.
Week 3 we play the Bengals.
Bengals. I was just gonna say it's Cincinnati, right? Okay,
Yeah.
so that's 2 more winnable games until we play the New England Super Team.
Right, exactly. That'll be at home though.
Mm-hmm.
So
you never know.
You never know.
But you know what? They put up 33 points on a decent Steelers team.
Yeah.
Without Antonio Brown.
Yeah, without anything really clicking offensively for them either.
But that's not Buffalo. Fuck the Pats.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, I think it should be a fun game. I mean, I don't mind the Giants. I mean, I really am a fan of Saquon. With that being said, the Giants are our prey this week.
Yeah,
we better pounce.
If you had to throw out a score for next week, what are you thinking?
If I'm thinking right, I'm thinking we just go out there and handle business. I think 31-10.
All right.
I think our defense gets a pick 6.
I hope
because we had no takeaways.
No, we
need to get takeaways this week.
I mean, a 3-0 is basically a takeaway.
That's true. That's true. And we had plenty of those.
Oh,
yeah.
And
I'm not, like, again, our defense was unbelievable. Like, our defense kept us in the game, but I would love some takeaways. I'd love if we could just, that one video when Manning gets sacked and then he like has that weird face when he's getting up. Let's do that again to him.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's get Daniel Jones in the game because we're beating him so bad.
Yeah, that would be nice to see.
Yeah, but no, I'm thinking we really just run riot on the Giants.
All right.
Mm-hmm. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking along the same lines.
Yeah.
Probably. I don't know if I had to throw out an exact score. I feel like I'll go a little more conservative. I'll go like 28-10.
Okay.
All
right. Minus a house money field goal.
All right, Cam. Well, thanks for being a guest.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Yep.
I'll hopefully come back and talk about another Bills win next week.
Yeah, hopefully we'll be talking about that next week. All right.
Go Bills, baby.
Thanks for coming on.
Sounds good.
We're going to head into our next segment now. All right. Now moving into our next segment, I have former guest Luigi Yates back with me to talk about the Steelers. How you doing, Luigi?
I'm good, Craigs. How about you?
I'm doing pretty good. You've been here before now. You know the drill. Now, unfortunately, we're going to have to get into the mess that was the last game against the Patriots. I mean, I was watching that game. That was just abysmal. That looked pitiful, man. I don't have a much better way to put it.
Watched the whole game start to finish. It was tough, not going to lie. Tough to go into New England when down there, but, they just couldn't get it done. Offense wasn't clicking. Defense couldn't stop a freaking nosebleed. Brady looked good. That offense is scary, actually. Not really worried, though. If the Steelers don't pull it off this weekend, then I'll start to get worried. But, you win some, you lose some. They got blown out. It's happened before, and they've come back and still made some noise in the postseason, made a run. Not worried.
Right. Focusing on this Patriots game, there were quite a few notable injuries towards the end of the game. Pouncey went down with an ankle injury. Joe Hayden went down with a shoulder injury. TJ Watt stepped off with a hip injury, and Juju ended up with some sort of foot problem. What's the status on that? What's going on?
It seemed that none of them practiced on Monday or Tuesday. Some of them were limited Tuesday. Even James Conner was limited until, I believe, yesterday. He started practicing fully. I just feel like it was one of those games where you're down 33-3, like, you're not caring as much, and I feel like that's when a lot of the injuries happen in those blowout games.
Careless mistakes.
Yeah, like, they're not caring as much, and, they weren't mentally in there. You could tell towards the end of the game, like, they were just ready for the game to be over. As was I watching the game. It was hard, but,
It was hard to watch, even as an unbiased outside fan. But speaking of the Patriots, what in the goddamn fuck? Antonio Brown decides to end his drama and bullshit by signing with none other than the New England Patriots.
See, I've hated Antonio Brown for months now.
Yeah,
and it slowly just keeps getting worse and worse. And him signing with New England is like the biggest fuck you he could ever give to the Steelers franchise. It's like the Steelers refused to trade Antonio Brown to the Patriots to begin with because they did not want to send him to they didn't want to send him to a threat because obviously why would they want to make a good team better?
Right, exactly.
So they were going to send him to Buffalo, which would have been perfect because the Bills are terrible.
Okay, yo, chill the fuck out. I would have hated that if it actually happened, to be honest. Like, if you looked at what happened with the Raiders, I'm actually so glad that the Bills didn't get Antonio Brown, but continue your bullshit.
See, but the Bills were bad enough that he was willing to retire rather than go to the Bills.
Enough. Okay. I mean, who's 1-0, buddy? Continue.
They beat the Jets.
Okay. I mean, 1-0, 5-0, counting preseason. I think we're poised for Super Bowl run, but continue what you're saying.
Poised for Super Bowl run. All right, Cricks. Okay. Yeah, but it's just kind of giving Pittsburgh the middle finger. And it just seems like he was acting like a spoiled bitch, basically. Like, he was all that stuff going on in Oakland. You could tell that he wanted to be let go. Yeah. He was doing everything in his power to make him look like the biggest, like, piece of shit that he could possibly be. And now he's going to go to New England and he's going to be like a saint. Yeah. And it's going to be crazy. It's awful. And that offense doesn't really need him. And now he's going to put up if he stayed in Oakland, he wouldn't have put up all pro numbers. But now he's going to. He's going to have a great season, and it's going to be hard to watch.
Yeah, Belichick's going to have a lot of fun with the circus full of clowns at fucking New England. Fuck all those pussies.
Yeah. Josh Gordon, not even... Josh Gordon, he might get suspended. Who knows?
Yeah,
he can't stay off the weed, man.
Stay off the weed.
Antonio Brown's probably gonna complain because he can't get number 84 because Mercedes Lewis.
I have no idea who the fuck that is.
He's a tight end. I'm pretty sure he's on the Patriots roster, and I'm pretty sure he wears number 84.
Yeah, but AB is gonna throw a fucking fit because he's a prima donna bitch.
I want so bad for him to just completely mess up the Patriots organization.
Oh, that would be beautiful.
I want him to go out there thinking he's top shit, and he goes out there, he's wide open on a play. Tom Brady, basically Tommy check down for the past few years, and AB's going to be deep downfield. Brady's not going to look his way. He's going to dump it off to James White, and AB's going to throw a fit on the sideline, and Belichick does not mess around.
Yeah, Belichick is not going to deal with any of that.
He will... I couldn't even imagine.
I gotta hand it to Belichick. He's definitely by far the greatest coach in the NFL.
For sure. No Bill Belichick, no Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Without Belichick, there would be no Tom Brady.
Guaranteed. Yeah, system quarterback.
For sure. I am a firm believer that Tom Brady's a system quarterback.
Well, let's move on from the circus talk. Let's talk about the Steelers and Seahawks next week. Obviously, Russell Wilson, one of the best dual threat quarterbacks in the NFL. Chris Carson looks like he's primed to have a great year. I mean, I have him on a fantasy team, so I'm hoping he does pretty good. But, yeah, what are you thinking next week?
I'm thinking the Steelers are a very good team against the run, defense-wise, but their secondary got exposed last weekend. Sean Davis was out, starting safety. You could tell he was missing in the secondary. They were playing an undrafted rookie.
I mean, also Hayden went down with that shoulder injury later on, which just made the secondary that much weaker.
Yeah, they need to make big moves. I saw today Minkah Fitzpatrick was looking for a trade, and the Steelers are already, there's a lot of rumors that the Steelers are trying to make a deal for him, which would be huge if they can make that happen. Curious to see what they would have to give up for him, though. That would be big for their secondary.
The Dolphins should honestly be fine with just taking like a second or third round pick for him. He wants out.
He does want out, but he was a top 10. I think he was the 11th pick last year.
Yeah, but the Dolphins are a fucking joke right now.
They are a joke, but they need picks. They're going to be pick
They're on the prime for going 0-16. Like, if it's going to be anybody, it's going to be the fucking Dolphins. I mean, they let a fucking running back turn them into dust.
Really. They really did. And it's just crazy because I've never seen that before.
Oh, yeah, it was absurd.
They looked worse than the 0-16 Browns. I'm thinking that the Steelers gonna be hungry getting blown out, and now it's home opener. Last time they played the Seahawks in the home opener, they shut them out. It was 24-0, I believe, in like 2011.
Right.
And Big Ben is 8-1 in his career after games following a loss by 20 or more.
Yeah, that's kind of impressive.
He knows how to bounce back from the tough losses, and hopefully they try to involve James Washington more, not Dante Moncrief, also known as Dante Concrete, because he couldn't catch a cold on Sunday. He was awful.
Yeah.
I had high hopes for him, but wasn't looking good for him. Hopefully they involve James Washington, Ryan Switzer, Deontay Johnson, try to get them more involved and ease Moncrief into the offense a little bit more. And I feel like if they could do that, just think about what Andy Dalton did to the Seahawks secondary a weekend ago. And obviously Ben Roethlisberger is 3 times the quarterback Andy Dalton is. I feel like Big Ben could light up that secondary. I am worried about Jadeveon Clowney in that front.
Ziggy Ansah, too.
Yeah, Ziggy Ansah, it's going to be tough, but I'm confident the Steelers can shut out the run game. But I'm more worried about Russell Wilson throwing the ball, him moving around. DJ Metcalf looked good last week.
That is true.
So it's going to be tough to see how they react, how they game plan against him, and how the secondary looks. Because if the secondary is looking good, I feel like they can shut that offense down.
Right. All right. So what do you think the final score is going to be next week?
Ooh. Well, last time I said it was going to be low scoring, and I was wrong for one end because the Patriots put up a ton of points. But I'm going to say there's going to be a high scoring game. The last time they played, it was a very high scoring game. I think Ben and Russell Wilson both threw like 4 or 5 touchdown passes.
Wow.
It was like 48-42 or something like that.
Wow.
But that was in Seattle, so I'm going to say. I'll say 38-33 Pittsburgh.
All right. We'll see how that works out for you next week. Luigi, thanks for your time.
Thanks for having me again, Craigs.
All right. We're going to roll into our next segment. Moving into our next segment about the Cleveland Browns, I got returning guest Jake Vischer with me. Jake, how are you?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. So, you know the drill. You know why we're here.
Yep.
The hype train, man. Boy, did it crash and burn this week. I got to be honest with you. That game, you guys looked good in the beginning, and then just, I don't know, everything fell apart. Just, what'd you see out there?
Man, first drive, we went down, 8 plays, touchdown, 7-0. We're up early. I'm like, all right, this is the Browns I was looking forward to seeing, and then from there, just shit the bed. Anytime you have 19 penalties in a game, they're going to be able to win the game, and we got outscored 21-0 in the fourth. So, honestly, we had our moments here and there, and then with Greg Robinson kicking that dude in the head, shit like that, it turned south real quick.
Derrick Henry, you were talking about him last week on the podcast, how you guys were going to have trouble stopping him. You guys had a lot of trouble stopping him.
I'll tell you one thing. I'm a happy man that Derrick Henry's in my fantasy football league.
Okay, there we go.
I'll take that because that was the only good thing. Every time that the Titans were scoring, it seemed like it was in Derrick Henry's hands. So yeah, we couldn't stop him. He just ran down our throats, and that's. You got to make Marcus Mariota kind of be like a quarterback, and when he's just able to dish the ball off to Derrick Henry, it's real easy for the Titans to win a game.
Yeah, definitely. Odell Beckham made a lot of headlines in the first week. Not for what you'd expect, though. The man decided to wear a $190,000 watch. Why?
I'm looking at it 2 ways. You got Alvin Kamara. He wears all that bling. Deshaun Watson wears all that bling. But it's just with the name Odell, and you see him wearing a watch. I get it. It's a watch. It's not a necklace or earrings or a nose piece, but just let the man go play football. It's not that big of a deal, honestly.
Yeah.
If the watch breaks, it's on him. He has the money to go afford a new one. Just let the man wear it.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so next week, Monday Night Football, you guys have the Jets. You don't have to worry about Sam Darnold, though. Boy decided to go get himself mono after he lost to the Bills because, I don't know, probably depression or something.
Had to be.
Yeah, so you guys are facing the Jets next week. How's that looking?
Well, if we go in with the game plan that we went in, Derrick Henry, we're going to be in for a rude awakening when we face Le'Veon Bell on Monday night. But, I mean, hey, I'm a Browns fan. I'm a diehard Browns fan. I'm going to keep cheering for him through thick and thin. I've been through the bad. I think this week's kind of like a bounce back week. The hype's over. We got the first game out of the books. Yeah, you don't like to lose like that, but I think it kind of made us understand what's going on and the team that we can be. So we're just disciplined. I think we can win this week against the Jets.
Jets had a lot of issues last week against the Bills defense. I think Bills came out with a good game plan for Le'Veon and them. I feel like if you guys can employ some of the same game plans, you'll be in pretty good shape.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, Le'Veon's a good running back, but we have one of the best rush defenses in the league, I think. And if we could just make sure that we hold Le'Veon to a minimum, yeah, he's going to have his runs here and there, but if we can just make sure that we're staying on top of things and like we battle with them, I think we'll be in good shape.
Yeah. Biggest question mark, though, at the end of the game last week, Baker Mayfield had his hand taped up. Is there a problem there? Is there something more than the media knows about? Because it's kind of question marks right now, and I'm just wondering what your thoughts are.
I mean, I've been seeing it all over social media. He had his hand wrapped after the game, and honestly, I think even if his hand isn't 100%, I know Baker's going to still go out and play because when he was saying after last week is he wants people to doubt him. He wants people to doubt the Browns, and that's exactly what they need. They need the world against the Browns like it's always been. And, I mean, the world could be against Baker right now, but regardless, I think Baker's still going to go out there and play even with his hand bruised, and he's going to make you show that he's not really hurt, but in reality he is.
So we have the Jets without Sam Darnold, without Mono Boy on the team. How do you think it's going to go next week?
I think it's a bounce back week. I'm going to go with the Browns winning again. I think our defense is going to make this quarterback that's backing up Sam Darnold, make him kind of look like a scrub. Make sure that we're doing things right here on defense and making sure that we have a bounce back week here. I think we win 24-14.
24-14. All right, that sounds good. Hopefully that will be the case for you guys because, I mean, if you guys lose to this Jets backup quarterback, man, I'm worried for the sanity of your fan base.
If we lose to this backup QB, this might be the time where I hang myself, but we'll see.
All right, well, hopefully it doesn't give that far. All right, Jake, thanks for coming on, man.
All right, man, I appreciate it.
All right, we're going to move into our next segment now.
And that about wraps up week 2 of Talking with Tony. Thank you guys for tuning in, and take care.